Hey guys, thanks for clicking in. We're gonna get into clickbait titles and much more in a second. I have absolutely no idea how to start this video, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. I think this is actually the first time in the history of this channel, of SWOOP, that I have ever just sat down and started talking to you guys. A couple of reasons. Number one, this. Can you see this? Yes. I injured myself and I've been on my feet still trying to film, and a couple of days ago I couldn't walk at all, so I will be seeing an orthopedic surgeon in about a week. Fingers crossed that everything's okay with that. I wanted to share a few frustrating things that have been happening here on the platform and kind of explain some stuff. Let's talk about all my problems. And please don't unsubscribe. Do I need to speak in code? I brought a couple of red things because is red and the pear is red. This is ridiculous, but I honestly don't know if I have to speak in code when I'm talking about such things. So when I mention the pear, I'm actually talking about, and when I talk about things like, we'll call that mail. When you get a letter in the mail, from the pear, this is what my life is.
This is what they've done to you.
This is what they've done to me. Oh my gosh, I'm just terrified of everything now. And then I don't know if it punishes you for talking about.
Just leave a space.
If you're wondering who I'm talking to, off camera, Dirt is over here. So I ran a poll on this channel yesterday. If you guys didn't see it, it happens in the community tab of this channel, and I usually will post asking you guys opinions on upcoming videos and what you would like to see. I asked you guys in the poll how many of you received mail regarding the last video, and the results were about 50% of you got the mail and 42% of you did not. So I thought I would just take a couple of moments to explain how things work around here and the things that you guys may or may not be doing, whether you know it or not, that affect not only SWOOP, but affect any of your favorite creators. I'm over here thinking about, well, what's a code word for flannel? We're gonna talk about the detrimental impact that the pear is doing to the flannel because it is not sending out mail. I feel like I have to speak in this code because if I don't, I'm scared that the machine is going to punish my flannel. Oh, send help. So first things first, about a month and a half ago or so, there was an outage that happened to the pear, meaning the entire pear went down and it was not accessible, and it lasted for a few hours, and there was a trending hashtag, the pear is down, and a lot of flannel have noticed that after the pear went down, this is ridiculous. After the pear went down, that viewership also significantly went down. There's been a lot of concern, and I personally noticed a significant drop-off in viewership on SWOOP. I don't know if it's tied to the pear going down. That's the thing. It's very difficult to understand what anything happens, and so it's very hard to make moves and to know how to adjust and to know, well, did suddenly 50% of all of you guys suddenly hate me and not want anything to do with me? And well, that's not rational. Some things that probably most of you guys don't know as viewers is that we as flannels are judged by a very strict set of criteria within the first immediate few hours of every time we upload. The first couple of hours are absolutely crucial to the success of a video. Success meaning if you guys are ever going to see it or not, because the pear decides how many of you guys are actually going to be able to see it unless you are specifically searching it out yourself. We are judged very harshly on a few factors. Number one, how many of you actually click and watch it within the first hour, within the first 5 hours, because I will get a message from the pear literally after an hour, and it will either shame me or it will praise me. And the shame usually sounds something like, wow, no one is interested. Oh man, the shame. What it's trying to do is it is measuring the performance, meaning how many views, how long someone watches the video. It's measuring that performance based on previous videos. If it's getting a little bit less viewership, then we start getting a lot of messages where it says, your viewers don't care about what you do, basically. And what I've noticed is oftentimes my new upload will be judged against one of my viral videos. For a new video to be judged against the performance of a viral video means that nearly every single time I put up a new video, the pair is telling me that I am not doing well and that I suck and that I'm not performing well and blah 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 blah. Then it will decide that it's not going to push it out to you nearly as much, meaning a lot of you guys will no longer receive your mail. If one video doesn't do well, pair will predetermine that for the next one you post, it's going to send out even less mail. So then that one does worse, and so then the next one they're not going to send mail, and you guys see how it just, like, that's one of the reasons why 42% of you did not get your mail. Another reason that you might not be getting mail from your favorite flannels is because, let's say a new video goes up but you don't watch it. Maybe you don't have time, or maybe the topic or the title didn't interest you for that particular video for whatever reason. The pair is going to decide that you no longer like that flannel. It's like very extreme decisions, and then it's very likely to be like, well, you skipped this one, so, and we'll just stop sending you mail from that channel even though you've requested to get your mail. I'm gonna move on from this subject to something else, but one thing that I do want to stress is if you guys want to receive mail, it is important to continue to watch the videos uploaded by your favorite flannels. There are some people who are like, oh, I don't have time to watch it, but I will just play it and let it play while I'm doing whatever else I need to do as a means to show support and also tell the pair that I want this stuff still. I'm not saying you have to, it's your preference. Another thing that's really important to us is how long you guys are watching a video, because we are judged very harshly on how many minutes of a video is watched. There is one foolproof way that you guys can always know when I am about to upload a new video and when I have uploaded it, and that is if you guys follow me on Instagram and or Twitter. But I always, on Instagram stories and on my Twitter, post when a video is about to come out. I let you guys know usually a day in advance, and then I always post right when a video goes up. So I will always be sending out mail on Instagram stories and Twitter. So I will have links to my Instagram and to my Twitter down below. Next, I want to address just a couple of comments that came in on the poll. Now granted, that's like 1 or 2 comments out of like tens of thousands, but there was a couple of people who said they specifically chose not to watch because of the title, because they didn't know exactly what the video was going to be about. And I want to just explain this really quick, because this has been something that's very personally frustrating for me, and I certainly don't want it to frustrate any of you guys. As a new channel here, the pair makes it even much more difficult for any of my stuff to get out to any kind of new audience. So there are things that we have to take into consideration as a flannel when it comes to like search engine optimization and like what kind of titles are going to get new people to click on it and that sort of thing. Here's the thing, 2 things. Number 1, with the type of content that I'm doing, and what I'm doing is I'm telling stories, and you guys know the editing style, all that kind of stuff. I'm having a really difficult time sometimes figuring out a particular title that's going to encapsulate all of the stuff that is happening within one particular video, because often there is so much going on. I'm also having a huge struggle with figuring out the right kind of thumbnail that actually showcases what's happening, because there's so much going on. Now, one of the comments in the poll, someone was like, well, I'm not a fan of like what looks like clickbaity titles. And the thing is, I don't think that I've done clickbaity stuff. I mean, last week's video is I'm still struggling. That was literally the first thing out of my mouth in the video, is I'm still struggling, and the entire video is about me struggling. Even if something feels like it might be clickbaity, the reality is it's never clickbait if you're actually showcasing and delivering what that title is. Now, let's speak honestly here. The pair encourages clickbait stuff because clickbait stuff gets clicked on. It works. The platform has been set up for it to work that way, and it's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way it is. Now, classically, in order for a flannel to grow, the pair recommends that you just jump on trends and jump on the bandwagon of trends, and then just do that over and over and over and over and over and over. And I have avoided doing that because I've never been a huge fan of just like jumping on random trends and then just trying to exploit it and make a story. And so because I haven't been jumping on the trend bandwagon, it's even harder for me to be discovered by new audiences because my titles are not super like searchable. And because a lot of my content is not riding on like some searchable trend, then I can only follow examples of people who've done this successfully that I looked up to. So like the Casey Neistats of the world, the Peter McKinnons, where when they're doing like a story or like a vlog story, a lot of their titles are exactly as how I titled my last video. And I literally researched, well, how would Casey handle this situation, because people respect him and he understands how all of this works. So I'm still learning and figuring all of this out at the same time as well. In a case of a video like last week's, what I had to do, because there was no one title that could encapsulate that entire story, what I did instead was try to create a title that I researched is a common title that is searched, that still applies to the content but also has a searchability to a broader audience, because that's what the pair wants us to do in order to ever be discovered. And so I've done my best to find a middle ground that conveys an honest message about what the content is, but also is something that is interestingly clickable, especially to a new audience who's never seen my content before, because I feel like once people see it, then they're like, oh, this is something unique and fresh. But if they never click on it, then they never discover that. So I'm sorry to anyone if that got confusing, but this is how everything works here. Now, what I would like to hope and what I'd like to think is that you guys who have seen any piece of my content know the kind of quality and production and the editing style and the storytelling, and you know the quality that you're going to get. I ask that you guys trust anytime I put up a video that you just know that you're gonna get a great story, you're gonna get great content, you're gonna get great production value, like awesome editing, it's going to be entertaining. Leave me a comment right now and let me know your thoughts about any of this stuff. I want this to be like an open, honest discussion. I hope this is making a little bit of sense. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep this video up. I'll probably delete this video. It's probably what I'm gonna wind up doing. If I feel like this is just adding more confusion and everything, then I probably will delete this video. So if you guys happen to see this, then hi. If you didn't, I'm sorry. To wrap all of this up, in ways that you guys can help support your favorite flannels here, obviously if you get a piece of mail and you have the time and the interest to watch the video, like leave a comment, if you leave a like on it, all of those things help. It's also important to hit that bell icon and it will put a little pop-up that says notify me of all new uploads, and to check that off. Of course, follow me on Instagram or Twitter because I will always be letting you know ahead of time when something is coming up. I thank you for being here because it really does mean everything to me. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea, because I get so down on myself about this stuff, and it's like lately every time I upload something I then go into like a very dark pit because the pair sends me all of those shameful messages and I feel like I'm worthless. So it really does mean a lot to me that you guys are here. With that being said, I'm gonna try to put up a new video, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday. If you guys haven't seen the latest one, I will have it linked in the description, or maybe I'll set up a playlist. You guys can get caught up on things that you may have missed because you didn't get your mail. I love you guys. Thanks for being part of the Swoop Squad. Mwah! Can't reach you, but